welcome to 108 Gate. We're doing a general reading and looking at the chart. We're going to have, I said it already in a few readings previous to this one, that there's going to be a real ramp up of energies, especially around April. So in preparation of that, looking at the general energies when it's appropriate, and then going into the masculine, feminine energies when it's appropriate. Right now, it definitely feels like there's a culmination of the work we've been doing coming in and kind of going to that next level of higher consciousness, going to that next level of higher connection with higher consciousness. Hence the general readings right now. So we are definitely going to be feeling a lot of shifts and changes in April. Things are going to feel intensified. Things are going to be intensified. So we also have at that time Jupiter conjunction with Uranus. So Jupiter and Uranus would be quite tight together, creating a particular kind of energy, which is going to be something that we really want to utilize, and at the same time, like I said before, preparing for it now, getting to know about it now, gives us kind of a heads up of where things are going, sensing where things are going. So when you come to that point, it's not as painful, it's not as stressful, it's not as impacting in a intense way, but it's more to do with now we can kind of see the terrain that we're going into. So if you were to see on the weather forecast that there's a storm headed or a storm brewing, you kind of prep for that. Make sure that you've got your appropriate attire out, and you've got appropriate I don't know if you, depending on where you are, but like you've got proper food and this and that, and you're preparing yourself for that intensity of the storm, so to speak. So it's not necessarily going to be as a storm, but the energies are going to definitely, for those of you who feel them, definitely going to be bringing a lot of things into question. It's definitely going to tug and pull at your consciousness and your subconsciousness. So preparing yourself for that and being ready for that. There you go. So absence of things, needing some compassionate understanding towards that. What I feel is coming up around this is when you are seeking something from someone else, you're seeking understanding, you're seeking compassion. It's like, why can't you just understand from my point of view? Why can't you just do as I'm asking you to do, or be as I'm asking you to do? Or it may have been that you were in that situation. How do we then shift and change to be accommodating for that? So for example, if someone say, why can't you just do what I'm asking you to do, and then you do it, and in return you're hoping for or expecting some kind of I don't know, gratitude or thanks or some kind of outcome that's going to be favourable for yourself, but in truth you've kind of locked yourself up into a tiswas. You've kind of hung yourself up in a unfavourable space or unfavourable emotion. The thing is, this is not just one issue. You're going to be identifying the patterns of it. You're going to be able to see where you did it once, what it led to, where you did it again, what it led to. So it's not about just seeing the first example of it and then putting the blame on that person for not being thankful for you making that sacrifice, not acknowledging that you've made a sacrifice, but more so you acknowledging that, why did I make that sacrifice? Why did I do it with that particular person? What was it that they said? What was it that they did? What was it that I wanted from them? What was it that I expected in return from that led me into this space now that I got myself knotted up? And it may be that you're on some level free of that, you're out of that, but that notion, that energy is still there, underlying that pretense of something having to happen in a particular way is still there. So that needs to be shifted, it needs to be addressed, so that if the same situation or similar situation comes in, instead of feeling like you're obligated to do something or you're obligated to say something, it's going to come up in a different way. Have strategies, have solutions, be open to receiving solutions, receiving or understanding, I need to respond to this in a different way because the other way didn't work. How do I do this? How do I respond to this in a way that is not going to be hurting myself or others, but at the same time I have to stand up for myself. I have to say what is true for myself. I have to say what is congruent within myself. So a lot of this may be where you're not in congruence, where you're incongruent, where you sacrifice certain things, or you compromise certain things. It's going to be coming up quite deeply. The initial reactions may be deep. The intentions may be to just go and do what you did before. Throat chakra is closing up. It's difficult to say certain things. It's difficult to know what the correct thing is to say, because once you've said it, it's heard, and then you can't kind of bring it back. So being really careful and particular on making sure you're feeling empowered in a gentle, loving way, and making sure that you're not allowing the anger or the frustration or the whatever it is, the resentment, the negative energies to speak for you. Therefore, you're going to start understanding how to move forward. What is the best way for you to get the outcome you need? What is the best way for you to let the other side know what you're trying to communicate? And then also at the same time, be willing to let it go. So if you're needing to prove yourself, or you're needing to prove a point, or you're needing to prove that they were lying to you, or you need to show them that, hang on a second, this is inequality. This is not about us being equal. This is about you having something over me, or me wanting something from you, like approval or acceptance, and not letting yourself getting stuck into that situation, into that thought process, into that mind space where you were before. Focus on your bigger picture. What am I building from here, where I am now? Does this help me build, or is it somewhere that it hindered me from building something deeper, something greater? Does it actually feel as though it's beneficial? Or is it time I actually put this to rest? Is it time that I actually spoke up for myself? And then this time, instead of, even if they don't respond in the way that you're hoping, or if they don't see your point of view, they don't see the reason why you're doing certain things, this is the time now where it's going to be about just cutting your losses. If they don't understand, it's not about you putting more time and energy into trying to convince them of your autonomy, trying to convince them of your point of view, trying to convince them that they have to think your way too. That if they agree, they agree. If they don't agree, it's not on you. So a lot of this stuff could be coming up, and that you just basically have to let it go. Let it be. So King of Cups is sitting there of wanting to show something that's of value to you, but it's just not connecting. It feels as though like the way it's feeling there with the cups, it's like, well, this is my cup, this is your cup, this is what you're building. You've been tangled up in certain things, but now it's about focusing on what you do need to build. There's a King of Cups, a higher, perceived higher patriarchal image. It could be just a very, very masculine woman. I don't know what it is. It could be, it's a masculine energy, wanting to come in, and you've looked at it as a source of love, or you've looked at it wanting a source of love to come from it, wanting a source of appreciation or acknowledgement coming from it, but it feels as though it's disconnected, it's discounting any of the efforts you've made, it's just not understanding you. So now it's that strength that's required to come in and know that I've just got to focus on what I'm building, because it just feels like it's drifting off over there. It's not actually connecting. It feels like it's trying to pull you off into their world, as opposed to actually taking a moment to think about what you're trying to do, why you're trying to do it, and then actually having a moment of like, oh, okay, even if I don't understand it, I wish you well. There doesn't seem to be that energy. Something's just flew out, which has, not surprising in the slightest, it has taken you off your course of action. It has taken you off committing to yourself on some level. It has made you feel disconnected from your congruent self. So it's disconnected you from your higher intelligence. It's disconnected you from so many things that you need to be able to build from a healthy space, in a healthy space. So this disappointment, this resentment, this consistently being adamant of, like, if I say it in a different way, maybe they'll get it. If I present it in a different way, maybe they'll get it. It's not the case. They're not going to get it. They don't want to get it. Same as, like, you're saying you're adamant that you want them to understand and want them to know that you're a good person and this, that and the other. Same way that they're not going to understand this, they're not going to see it from your point of view. So it's kind of agree to disagree. And if they don't agree to disagree and they just keep harping on about it and pushing and pushing and pushing, then you know you've got to pull back even more. I'm going to get a card for here. There you go. So instead of getting yourself locked up in that, find other sources, resources to connect with. There are other things that are coming in, that want to come in, that actually do benefit you, that actually will release you from these shackles, from these bounds, from these bindings, from these ties, from these commitments that are not even yours to have to deal with. So allowing in the new communication, allowing in new networking opportunities, allowing in new opportunities to do things differently, because it's all available for you to receive. And then you've got the Ten of Cups. It's right there. It's just that this has knocked you off so far from your authentic self, from your path, that you're going to start feeling the possible energies of grief, possible energies of dismay. Like, you just can't believe that someone has been so callous with your emotions, or with your plans, or with your intentions, and feeling quite disrupted by that. You're going to start identifying the disruption, so therefore you can start making headway to back off from the things that are not in your favour, back into that which is your favour. So the strength to let things go is going to be really important now. The strength to just, it is what it is. Agree to disagree. They can't even agree to disagree. Therefore, I give up. And not in a I give up hopeless way. I give up and I surrender it. Surrender it to the divine. Surrender it to something else. I'm not doing this because I've got other things to sort out. And this is where you're heading. So again, I'm saying with this card, I don't ever see it as a negative card. I see it as you've worked hard for these cups. You've had to sit there diligently and protect these cups. To get the 10 cups, you have to do that. So I don't see selfish. I see that when you're putting certain things to right, somebody may come across as saying that you're selfish and making you feel bad about putting yourself as a priority. And that is what may have put you on your head before and disconnected from you being in Empress mode. You want to get back into being Empress. Put your own opinion first. Put your own reasoning first. Put your own intentions first. Put yourself back on your seat. Put yourself back on your throne. Get your crown on. Sit up and then literally start working from that space. And what am I building now? And gently, gently, gently start ushering yourself in that direction. So with that, I'm going to leave that there. I hope that was helpful. April is going to be some kind of something else. So as much as it seems daunting, it's not. It's about preparing and making sure that we are setting ourselves up in a good, healthy way to enjoy what's available. Excuse me. A bit sniffly. So the monthlies are going up, as you might see. So please do subscribe. Hit the button if you like, and then there's the playlist in the bottom. For the tuning forks, I'm having a few issues with the recording device that came in. I'm not sure what's going on, but as we know, sometimes these things happen. The intention's there, the plan's there, and then it's moving forward. It's just that it's not doing what I want it to do at the moment. It's all fun and games, right? Just keep going. Don't let it pull you down. Realign with being the Empress. Realign with your purpose. Realign with what you're building, and just keep going in that direction. Let go of what you don't need. Make sure you protect your cups. So with that, thank you for your support. Peace and love always.